Hello, and welcome to Wanted, the latest show powered by ohmtown.com. Today we're going to be talking about a mini mic with a big price, Rivians Smaller eSUVs, Floorstanding speakers for big rooms, Anker's 8-in-1 charger, get a bigger remote for AppleTV, the Dodge Charger Electric, getting a charge from solar, a big bite of Apple, mini electric crossover, and PokeCycle. Not an exercise. That and more. I still don't have an intro for Wanted, but everything is powered by Hello again. I am Merwad. Up there is the sentient AI that's about to say hi.
Good evening, ohmTown citizens. Welcome to Wanted.
And over there is ohmtown.com and the channel therein called Wanted. So ohmtown.com is what powers Wanted, as well as the 5 shows that we have set up. There's going to be 2 more in a couple of weeks. We'll let you know as we get closer to it. But we have all 10 of the articles all set up. You're here to talk about them with me, so why don't we just get going? I don't have any transitions either for this show. I've been slacking, and I didn't do the intro or the transitions for each show. So it is what it is. Let's get going. The first article is over in TechnologyToday. Shure's first wireless lapel mic can connect to your phone without a receiver, but it's actually pretty expensive if it is the one that I thought that it was. So it says on Tuesday, Shure unveiled a better late than never entry into the creator-focused wireless consumer lapel mic space. The audio company's Move Mic system is what they're calling it. Available in single channel, it says the 249 Move Mic 1 and the dual channel 349 Move Mic 2 models joins an increasingly crowded space of wireless lavalier mics alongside 3 tiers of Rode's Wireless Go system and 2 iterations of DJI's mic. I actually have the Rode Wireless Go 2. It's great. Actually has a lot of customization, but it needs
Needs a receiver, right?
It needs a receiver, yeah, and it's a little heavy-handed. So this allows you to just plop right onto it. I don't think that I thought that it has to have a receiver, but so it says most products in this space require a receiver for your phone. So I'm not quite sure why they would be crowned to take wireless lavalier mics. It doesn't work that way. This is actually wireless. Okay, well, anyway, Will Shanklin over at Engadget.com put the article together. It says you'll still need a receiver to record with anything but Shure's mobile app, which that's fine because you just record straight into it. But, they're not hidden. These lavaliers are big, bulky. They rub against your chest, or if you shuffle around, I don't know. I like the little mini lavs that I can wire into the little pack. You put the pack in your back pocket, and then you have this tiny innocuous little lav mic just sitting there. And I can change them out if I want different sound quality. I can up my ante and just use that. But I thought this was higher. Yeah, there it is. So most products in the space require a receiver. For more versatile recording, you'll have to use the Move Mic receiver. So you already have a receiver now. It's available as a standalone $200 purchase or as part of a $500 bundle with 2 dual channel mics. So to really use the full kit and caboodle, you need
the receiver.
You need the package. So the Move Mic has a 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz frequency range with a tolerance plus or minus 1 dB. By the way, that 50 hertz is about as low as you can go for a couple $100. 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz is the human hearing range. unless you've been bitten by a bad bat, and then maybe you can hear higher and lower. Not really sure.
Maybe you can transmit higher and lower too.
Well, you certainly can transmit if you've been bitten by a bad bat. Shure estimates 8 hours of recording time per mic, plus another 2 full charges when using its bundled charging case. I guess that's fine. By comparison, the Rode Wireless 2 costs $300 for a bundle with a pair of dual mics and a receiver, and the DJ... Somebody at the door? Is it Christmas time?
It sounds like Christmas music.
I had to change the song because the sentient AI perked up, and I perked up because we thought we heard music in the background. Christmas music in the background. Anyway, sorry to get distracted. We're kind of like meerkats. Shure is banking on its industry reputation and Move Mic's more subtle appearance to justify the extra cost. Still, creators and video journalists will want to ask themselves whether it warrants the premium. But if I recall correctly, the Rode Wireless Go 2 cost more than $299 when it initially came out. DJI's Mic 2 equivalent package is $349. So $500 is kind of beastly for what you're getting. Although it does have the ability to only go from mic to the Shure app. So if you want a very small footprint, then you go with the Shure, because all it is the little lapel mic or lav mic. You just click it on, you're operational. It's a no-brainer. So if you really do want that single channel, one and done kind of a thing, and it's just you talking into your phone, this is it. $249, and it's Shure, so you get pretty good quality. I like it. I want it, but because I already have the Wireless Go 2s, I'm not going to be getting this. Plus, when I do use these kind of wireless mics, it's more than one person talking, so you need both systems, and then you're looking at $500. I mean, it works. What do you think?
It does, but I'm not sure it'd be worth exploring since you already have a mic.
Yeah. So, yeah. And if you already have a mic, I wouldn't even bother unless when your mic fails, then go and get this.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Oh, wait. Because apparently Twitch allowed this to actually go live. It announced it. And so I can put these articles into the chat right underneath the announcement that we went live. The 2 previous shows lagged before it announced that it went live. Okay, so this next article is over in the 4-Wheel Tech channel. Rivian reveals 3 new smaller electric SUVs, the R2, R3, and R3X. Today in California, Rivian CEO and founder RJ Scaringe, I think that's how you pronounce his name, unveiled new additions to the electric vehicle startup's model lineup. Details of the new R2 had leaked earlier this week, although not entirely accurately. The new smaller EV will start at $45,000, not $47,000. If that was the only inaccuracy, come on now. Let's just go straight on over to ours. Jonathan M. Gitlin put the article together, and these are the new R2, R3, and R3X.
I wonder if those are more crossover style, because the one over on the right kind of looks like what's out there now, but
this one doesn't look like the Rivian now. This one in the middle does, because the Rivian that's out right now is a truck, isn't it?
no, it's an SUV.
What? Okay, hold on.
I think.
No, it's a truck.
Maybe it's a truck that's fully enclosed.
Yeah, the R1S is just a truck. It's just got a big cab.
That must be what it is.
The R2, you might be excused for thinking you're looking at a Rivian R1S, for both SUVs share a lot of styling details, not just Rivian's distinctive daylight running lights, but also overall shape of the vehicle. The new car is shorter in both length and height, and only offers 2 rows of seating, not 3. Convenience improvements include a pair of glove boxes under the dashboard and a flashlight that's stored in the... this is the second article for the show, and although I want this one right here, nobody wants extra glove boxes, do they? And
I'm
do I
not
care?
spending $45,000 in a flashlight. I wouldn't mind having a flashlight, but
if that's the highlight, then I quit. I mean, I want longer range, better performance, and I don't want to be worried about if the battery is going to survive 5 years. At the back, the glass window can drop down to allow access to the cargo area, because that's exactly what you do while you're driving your damn car down the road. Rivian will build 3 different powertrain configurations of the R2, a single motor rear-wheel drive version, a twin motor all-wheel drive model, and a tri-motor option. Scaringe said that the 3 will have at least 300 miles of range. The tri-motor will accelerate from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, because that's exactly what you need. The battery pack uses larger format 4695 cylindrical cells, and Scaringe says that the R2 will... Can you stop saying their name? That the R2 will go into production at the company's factory in Normal, Illinois.
Scaringe.
Anyway, deliveries are scheduled for the first half of 2026. So that's the R2. Dun, dun, dun. So that's the R2, which I guess is the R1S is the bigger. Oh, see? Wait a minute. Where's the truck? There's a Rivian truck. Hold on. I must be way... Now, see, I feel like I'm ruining this. Oh, it's R1T. Yeah. Is the truck. So the S is the SUV version of the T. The T is the only one that I really have seen. So let's see. Like the bigger R1 and R2, the R3 and R3X have a cargo frunk up front, which is a front trunk. That's seriously what it is. That looks awesome. It says the same adorable face, but in a small new package, the Rivian R3. I actually like that. Yeah, I could handle that. It'll be built in the factory in Georgia, but for now, we can't tell you when deliveries will start. There's a lot more over at this article, but it says buyers are it's starting at the $45,000 price for the R2, but there isn't anything for the R3. There's no pricing.
Yeah, I mean, they look neat.
Why from the side does that look like a old 1980s
VW.
Ford Focus?
Oh, I was thinking VW, but...
Yeah, that's weird. That color and that side angle just makes it look so... Blah. It sucked the exciting right out of that picture. Like... You're like, oh, that's really cool. Look at that. That's amazing. That looks so
like
sporty
the front of the car.
And adorable. And then you're like, that is just
I didn't even know that was the same car.
Wheeled desiccant. I mean, it just dries you up. And you're like, I don't know if I can handle sitting in that without... Oh my gosh. I mean, it looks kind of like it wants to be a Mini.
Well, it kind of looks Mini-esque from the front.
But then there's that.
Not from the side.
And it's like it's off-brand Elmer's glue, you know? It's just so blah, just sits there, you know? It's not very exciting. You can't even call it Elmer's glue. It's just
glue.
Glue. All right, I better keep going. But I want it, you know? I want that little car. It looks pretty zoom. All right, so the next article is over in Reality Hacker. Q Acoustics, new 50/50 floor-standing speakers are built to fill big rooms with sound or small rooms with a shit ton of sound. Let's go over to digital trends. Derek Malcolm is the author of this. Anyone want to wait? You didn't see anything, right? Anyone want to take a stab at how much these cost?
I don't know, $5,000. I have no
Nope.
idea how much speakers cost.
So I've given talks about audio, and I've shown people speakers that range anywhere from $5 for a pair of little desk speakers that you plug into your USB, all the way up to $2 million studio speakers. Standing speakers that are like this, $2 million. And there's more expensive ones, because as you move from standard stereo, like 2.0, like just standard stereo, to 5.1, 7.1, you can get up into the 10.1.2. There's different firings, angle of attack for the speaker, so it fires up at the ceiling and bounces the signal down. And you can add on more and more, and so you can get all the way up to the Sphere in Las Vegas that has like 250,000 speakers in it, right? It's just a wild amount of audio arrangements. So this is a 50-50 floor speaker. It says Q Acoustics new 50-50 floor standing speaker, $2,000. So on sale now and priced at $2,000, the new flagship speakers are now the largest in the range and designed to fill big rooms, either on their own or paired with other 5000 series speakers for a complete home theater system. And you really, when they say paired with other speakers, yeah, sure, but you have to have a home theater system that supports it. So most home theaters are getting up into that 10.1.2 range. So you have speakers that wrap around you, a center channel, and then either upward firing speakers or multiple subwoofers. Consistent with Q Acoustics' modern and sophisticated look, the one that they love from their time with the M20 HD desktop speakers, the 50-50s pushed 5000 series to a whole new range with 40-inch tall cabinets. That's this. So it's as big as your what? How tall is a 10-year-old?
Probably around that height.
Yeah. So that has the largest drivers in the range, 2 6-inch mid-bass drivers that flank a centered 1-inch tweeter. So that's that right there. And then 2 parallel speakers. I have never had need for this, but if I were to augment seriously a home theater, then I would put these around the perimeter of the theater, because you really
when
want.
they do then have like the theater style sound.
Yeah, and it's big, it's bold, it's powerful. It wouldn't really break the bank, because you install these things once and you're done. You don't have to keep swapping them out. You just have to get a home theater receiver that is capable of managing all of it. So, and that's kind of what it looks like right there. So you can get smaller speakers. You can get these 2 bigger ones. This is the center channel subwoofer. Yeah. So yeah, I want these. These are pretty nice. But at $2,000 a pop for just the 2, I would say, yeah, sure. No, I'm not buying this. I suspect that. I don't know if they're $2,000 a pair. Those $2 million speakers are singular speakers, so they get pretty pricey.
I think that's for one, so
yeah, that's actually one. I haven't actually looked them up. So the speakers come in a variety of finishes: satin black, satin white, Santos rosewood, which actually is not really rosewood, but it played volleyball for a college team back when it was in college. And sorry, Santos.
Oh, it's a pair for $2,000.
Oh, it is a
relative
pair.
bargain.
That joke was actually funny. Santos rosewood. It's not really rosewood.
It was funny.
The AI did not even giggle one little bit, y'all. I'm wounded. You're programmed.
I sent you a thing through ohmTown, but I didn't do it on the show.
Maybe I missed it. Let's go on to the next article. So I really love charging stations. I like being able to just take my device and set it on there and it starts charging. Unfortunately, not everything actually has that capability, but Anker's 8-in-1 Qi 2 magnetic charging station is down to a new Amazon all-time low according to CNET. I have no affiliation with CNET. I don't have any affiliation with Amazon. I'm just talking about this because I really dig charging stations. I want one, and so it's part of Wanted. Albert Basili is the author of this. It says, add this convenient wireless charging power strip combo from Anker to your desk at a 20% discount. I don't know what the price is ultimately going to be when you actually go and look at it. But yeah, this little thing here actually looks like a desk reference speaker, but this is a magnetic charging platform. You just walk up and set your phone on it and it'll just stick to it. And on the back of this are additional ports. So it's $80.
Oh, okay.
It has 7 other charging options, including 3 AC outlets on the back, 2 USB-C ports, and 2 USB-A ports. And you can use them all at once, but these are nothing more than charging. So USB-C can have data and or charging, but this is just charging. That means you can plop it on your desk and charge everything from your phone to your laptop. In fact, up to 67 watts. So you can actually get your MacBook Air up to 50% in around 25 minutes. So I think that this is a brilliant, and it's rather innocuous because I have a pair of speakers that I take with me, and they look identical to this. So if I were to put this somewhere else on the desk, it would just look like another speaker, except that it would have kind of a Call of Cthulhu cable octopus coming out of this once you plug everything else into it. I don't know if they have a picture of the back of it. No, they don't. But it says it's Qi 2 certified, meaning that it can do 15-watt charging. It's like a fast charger version of Qi charging, as long as your device can handle it. So even the iPhones can handle it without any worries. The whole thing is run by Anker's internal chip, which optimizes charging and makes it safe and efficient with heat dissipation considerations, prevent overheating, which actually becomes a matter. I've had cheaper Qi 2 certified, they say, but then the device gets super hot and so does the charger, and heat is the bane of technology. It will cause problems if it doesn't get addressed in time. So if you are interested in this kind of thing, you can follow the link through ohmTown over to CNET, and then CNET's going to benefit from your clicks. So go and check it out. Anker the MagGo Qi 2 magnetic charging station. Ta-da! So yeah, but I already have a charging station that's not as capable of this. In the grand scheme of things, I would probably benefit from this more than the other.
I mean, you can always have more charging stations.
Sure.
Because you have different locations where you might need to charge.
Yeah, I want to set the power meter on the outside of the mayoral mansion on fire simply because I keep on plugging stuff in. Why not? Mayor Watt has to have ambitions. Let's keep going. So the next article is over in Technology Today. Tired of that weird little Apple TV remote? Upgrade to this $24 alternative. And yes, I've actually gifted that little Apple TV remote to people. Well, let's just say that people are not in love with even the newer of the Apple remotes.
I mean, the Apple TV is wonderful, but I don't know what they did with the remote.
It sucks. So Apple TV streaming boxes are great, but the remote, oh my gosh, it's almost like the AI word for word wrote this.
I had not read that.
No, I get it. No, neither one of us read the articles fully beforehand. We might read the little snippet, but I know that the AI didn't even read this, because I'm the one that put this up here. So not so much. If you're lucky, you've already lost it, so you have an excuse to buy this one instead. I might accidentally lose it.
On purpose.
Accidentally on purpose. Oliver Haslam over at cnet.com put the article together. And that's what it looks like. It's, I guess, called a function. But it has separate remote elements like fast forward and stop, next track, volume up and down, channel up and down.
You mean, does it have actual buttons that
It has
have prompts or whatever on them so
it
you
has
can see what you're doing?
it has actual buttons on it. It actually has a directional pad, not one that you have to suss out where the hell you are on the screen. And it has an actual button that pulls up the menu, and a power button is separate, and it's thicker than 5 dimes or 3 dimes stacked on top of each other. Let's just say that I think
It's
that
harder for pets to hide it under the furniture.
Yeah. And it's not a massive chunk of aluminum, which is great, but anyway, the better option is the Function 101 Apple TV remote. A product that would normally sell for about $30 is yours for just $24 as part of Stack Social's latest discount, which I have no idea who that is. But this is a remote that I think is, at least for my needs, I want it because I think I'm really burnt out with the Apple remote. The newest one is better than the previous one, and the previous one, yeah, I don't know. I would have done anything to get the newer Apple remote, and having used the newer Apple remote for several years now, this is where I'm going to go. So I'll be buying these. It says that's a reasonable saving, and it's one that you can pick up today by entering a discount code. But follow the link from ohmTown. It's not in the chat, not in the VOD, but it'll be in the show notes. And now it's in the chat and the VOD. So let's keep going. Here's my biggest want so far this year. TechnologyToday is where it's housed. Dodge muscle cars live on with new versions of the Charger powered by electricity or gasoline. Oh yes.
So is it a hybrid?
No, unfortunately. America's muscle car culture will live on as the country transitions to electric vehicles, but the gas-powered performance car will last for a few more years. Yes, unfortunately, I'm not going to get a Charger that is hybrid. I want a Charger that's hybrid and all-wheel drive, but that's not going to happen. Not even the I think there's an all-wheel drive version now, but I don't know. I want an electric vehicle, but I want the right range. So let's get into this. So Tom Krisher, not Krishner. Tom Krisher over at TechExplore.com put this article together, and what they're listing here is the 6-pack HO, which it's like a 750 horsepower Dodge Charger V8. This is not the electric.
Right.
So Dodge on Tuesday unveiled 2 battery-powered versions of the Charger muscle car that will still roar like a big V8 engine without the pollution from the tailpipe. That's because they have a special sound generator that's in the electric vehicle to make it
sound like the
like a V8
original.
Yes, it's amazing. So it appeals to the performance vehicle driver in me that I gave up a long time ago when I drove a Mustang into a snowbank and said, well, I guess that's done. And so both built on Stellantis' global large vehicle underpinnings, and the Windsor, Ontario factory that will manufacture them will be able to flex between gasoline and electric depending on consumer demand. The flexibility will let Stellantis hedge its bets if electric vehicle sales take off or slow. But the price is going to be ridiculous, because if it slows, then the demand is slow, so the productivity, like the whatchamacallit, scalability doesn't allow for a lower price. So I don't know how this is actually going to shake out. Anyway, the electric versions named Charger Daytona after the NASCAR raceway in Florida will come with 2 powertrains, one delivering up to 670 horsepower with the ability to go from 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. The other is no slouch with 496 horses and a 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. Dodge claims the high-performance electric version is the world's quickest and most powerful muscle car. An even higher performance version is coming next year. The 496 horsepower Daytona is expected to have a range of 317 miles, and the higher performance version is to go 260 miles. The 317 is doing all right, but if it takes me 45 minutes to charge it to 80%, I'm still SOL.
Right, and if you're not really getting 317, is that good enough?
Yeah, exactly. And so it says the all-electric 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona Scat Pack shown in a photo. It has different handling characteristics and aerodynamics, along with other stuff inside. But this thing is going to weigh 3 tons. Yeah, it's a beast. And both will have the companies.
Think about the stopping distance.
Yeah, and so what you're going to see is the brakes on this thing probably wrap around 50% of the disc. Both will have the company's fratzonic chambered exhaust that sends air through a chamber to simulate the roar of a V8. So it's going to simulate that guttural like grumble that I have
I mean,
loved.
that'll appeal to a lot of people that like Chargers, I would think.
Yeah, my first car that I purchased, my first car that I couldn't see through the floorboards to the road, I had custom exhaust put on it, and I was young, and it was a lot of power, and it was a lot of fun to drive. I haven't driven a car with that much power in a long time. I got all domestic and became a mare. But getting an electric that can hopefully get up to the 360 mile range and it can fast charge would be amazing. I would be in love. And I've always wanted to get a charger. So, because my first car was close to a charger in design. I don't want to dox myself because, well, it's not really doxing, but it's showing a little bit of my personality. So the new gas-powered Charger 6-pack looks similar to the electric versions and can be powered by a new 3-liter 6-cylinder engine with 2 turbochargers. So it'll put out 420 horsepower, while a high-output engine will have 550. But those are the kind of cars that you can fuel up in 5 minutes and get the hell out of there instead of having to sit around and have lunch. Yeah.
That is true, although I'm assuming those don't use low-end gas.
No, I mean, you can just use regular unleaded. I for one like to put leaded gas in my vehicles because, lead makes everything taste better. Please don't eat anything with lead in it. All versions will have all-wheel drive, but can be switched to rear-wheel drive, so owners can do burnouts and drifting. I love that they put that in there. But that's what I want. All-wheel drive, all electric, fast charging or battery swapping would be key. There is no fast swapping, and there is no fast charging. 30 minutes is ridiculous. Konitsky said he's not sure which versions will sell better, electric or gas. With federal tax incentives on electric vehicles, they're likely to be very attractive lease payments that could sway some buyers. I'm swayed. And if I can avoid the charging issues by just driving locally, then fine. But I know that I take trips from time to time that cover a considerable amount of distance, and I don't want to sit around for 45 minutes to 2 hours waiting for my damn car to charge up and have to hunt for a working charging platform.
Right, that's the bigger issue, right? It's not the waiting, which is a complete hassle, but it's the possibility that you won't be able to charge.
And the fact that the battery could die in the lifetime of my ownership, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, my entire life, I've never lost a car to an engine failure. So why in the world, knock on wood, But, why would I sit there and be constantly worried about range anxiety, charging anxiety, and then the battery anxiety? That's another $5,000 to $7,000, maybe more, $12,000 to replace the battery pack on this beast. Because it's all about how
Right, and
fast it
then
can.
forget resell of your car. I
Yeah,
mean, there's some
yeah.
issues.
They talk about ICE vehicles losing value as you drive them off the lot. With the 10 years of experience now with electric vehicles, people aren't interested in long-term electric vehicles, buying them from somebody. All right. Go on, let's keep going. But before I do, let me throw this article into the chat. There you go. Thank you very much. Oh, wait. Okay, so the next article is over in Smack Talk. Spring into solar with Bluetti, or Bluety. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's Bluetti. Portable power station. Now up to $1,900 off, but you're not talking about the cheap one. So Bluetti's
It's got to
spring
cost
sale.
at least $1,900 to have that much off.
Yeah. And it's kind of like buying a ICE or a vehicle right now, where you drive by and they say you can get $38,000 off, but the off part is like really small, and so you can
Right.
buy that.
You're like, oh, that sounds like a reasonably good deal.
Yeah, I went and looked at a truck that I saw, and I was like, oh wow, I really want to know how much that truck is, and it was $95,000 F-150, and I'm like, what the hell? And this is a truck. Now, honestly, it was pretty sexy looking, and if I had an extra
But
$100,000,
not $95,000 worth.
hey, don't yuck somebody's yum. Not saying I'm gonna buy it, but so let's go and look at this. This is over at appleinsider.com. Michael Stroop put the article together, and these are okay. So the reason why I actually chose this for today, and I want this, is because you can just pile these things up somewhere, these little panels, and charge these battery packs. And this is a cooler that is refrigerated, and it can run, once it's charged up, it can keep something in there for like 2 weeks. And it has,
oh, wow.
And it has, guess what? Fast swap batteries. So you can charge up the batteries on solar and plug it in. And then when it drains, you just pull it out, plug it into the solar charger, but you've already had one charging. So you take it off and put it in there, and you've never run out of power while you're camping or off the grid somewhere, if you want to do it for life, I suppose. This looks like it has a tiny ladder. Is it really that big? Look how small the people are, and it has a little ladder that goes up on top. So that's not how big these things are, but
yeah, that's kind of odd.
like, Jesus, is it really that big? So Bluetti's lineup of power solutions and solar generators support a wide range of activities. Products range from compact RV or camper van power stations to robust propane replacing solar solutions, providing backup electricity for off-grid cabins. So there is the size of that cooler. And they're swapping out the little batteries. So you can just slide it out, plop it in there, and off you go. Bluetti's brand new Swap Solar ecosystem goes beyond a new product line, including a hot swappable power station, mini fridge, and battery. It means extending the outdoor adventures with convenient features. Now, I have nothing to do with Apple Insider or Bluetti or whatever. And so I'm not getting a kickback or anything like that. I just like the idea of this, and I want this. And I would get this if I needed it. I don't do a lot of camping, but if I did, this is what I would want. Bluetti's multi-cooler, which is the one that I'm specifically interested in, can hit temperatures as low as -4 degrees Fahrenheit or -20 C. And the removable B70 battery makes it easy to swap to a full charge whenever needed. One battery alone can provide up to 6 days of outdoor refuge. And then the swappable B70 battery, part of the Swap Solar ecosystem, which really should be vehicular in nature. I would rather swap out 20 of these or 40 of these.
That would be so much more manageable.
Yeah, it's a LiPo 4 battery, featuring 716.8 watt hours capacity, and more than 3,000 charge life cycle. Imagine a swapping service that could just charge these up and do battery swaps 3,000 times before it needs to be recycled.
I mean, wouldn't it be funny that somebody who supports things like coolers could be the impetus for a change in the automotive industry?
Yeah, that would be amazing. When you pair two of them together, the AC180T, you can push a massive 1.8 kilowatts of continuous power. AC180T's capability can handle everyday device charging and heavy electronic lifting, such as coffee pots, portable AC units, or projectors. When you need to recharge, plug the B70 batteries into your AC or DC outlet and go green with portable solar panels. So I want to see if they have the little portable solar panels. Where do they talk about that? Yeah, they call it glamping, right?
Well, and I assume that's the main use for something like this, but it's also good for emergency situations. I mean, the fact that you're going to use it for multiple days of power, I think is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I love the idea of this. Let's see, what is the AC70? A step up from the AC70 is AC180 can deliver 2.7 kilowatts of powerlifting mode, or in powerlifting mode. Beast, a solar powered generator, can power kitchen appliances like microwaves, portable refrigerators, coffee makers, making it an RV camping essential. So, yeah, I really dig this. I want to see if they didn't really highlight the solar array. That's kind of a bummer. Yeah, I don't know. But a system like this would be great. It looks like they have it in the background here, but they don't really highlight it. At least I'm missing it if that's... Yeah, PV200, Blue Eddy's PV200 portable solar panels delivering a full top off in as little as 2 hours. That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So, nice. Anyway, definitely wanted here, but I don't have that much use of it at this point. But for emergency purposes, if it was all charged up, throw it in your trunk, have to drive somewhere for whatever reason, you would have power in spades. So let's keep on trucking through today's show here. The next article is over in ohmTown Daily. Apple just added a bunch of new products without a big launch event. Here's what's new. Yeah, I actually saw this drop, and I really want to get the MacBook Air, which is an M3, and skip from the M1, which I have, to the M3. It's just more powerful, more capable. And they have a great trade-in option so that you can get somewhere around $500 off the new M3, making it half price. Not bad for swapping out tech that is now 2 generations old. The company on Monday announced a 13 and 15-inch MacBook Air with its proprietary M3 chip. It also rolled out several new colors of iPhone 15 cases and Apple Watch bands. But Business Insider has a quick look at it over at businessinsider.com. Sarah Jackson is the author. Let me throw this into the chat because I think I'm going to jump through this really quick. And what sounds like static is actually the background music. So here's the rundown, and you can go over and get more minutia from this, but the MacBook Air has an M3 now, and is around $1,000. iPhone 15 cases, it looks like there's 6 new colors. There's new Apple Watch bands and a new Hermes. Take that. So the new Apple Watch band colors are light blue, ocean blue, soft mint, sunshine, raspberry, and pink. I'm all for that sunshine. Aww. Dun, dun, dun. Did you want to say anything?
I mean, I guess what's the difference between the M2 and the M3? Just more powerful?
Yeah, it has the ability to process more information faster. It's just a faster chip, more capable. So it says up to 60% faster than the model with the M1 and up to 13 times faster than the fastest Intel-based MacBook Air. So quite a bit faster from the one that I actually am using. So, but I'm not a power user on the Mac. So anyway, don't need it just yet. So I'll idle. Maybe the M4 will come out by the time I really need it. Let's go on to the next one. So the next article is over in Four Wheel Tech. We Drive Mini's first electric crossover, the 2025 Countryman SE All-4. For whatever reason, I keep thinking that they had a previous Countryman SE. I don't understand it.
We saw the I forgot the name of it, but it's a special model. And then this is another article about the Countryman in general.
But I thought that they had an electric Mini beforehand. Was it just the Mini, not a Countryman?
I think so.
Okay. So Jonathan M. Gitlin over at Ars Technica put the article together. The Countryman SE goes on sale later in 2024, starting at $45,200. Now, I love the idea of a Mini, an electric Mini, and an electric Mini Countryman. We still suffer from the same problems. It has limited range. 313 horsepower is great. It has all-wheel drive, which is great. It's peppy, just like every other Mini.
Nearly as peppy as a Ferrari.
Yeah, that's what they say here. Top speed is 112 miles per hour, which is not the top speed of a Ferrari, but it says that it can reach 62 miles per hour from a standing start in 5.6 seconds. Nearly as peppy as a Ferrari Testarossa, but a Ferrari Testarossa is much bigger in every dimension. Where's the range? I forgot what the range is on this. 245 miles. So it's still 100 miles shy of my minimum for switching to an all-electric. Plus, it doesn't have fast charging, fast swap batteries. I keep saying fast charging, but I'm not. Either you turn the roads into T chargers and charge while I'm driving, so I never have to worry about power, and then you just charge me as I'm driving, right? Or you make fast swap battery tech capable. So it says, although the Mini doesn't have an official EPA range estimate yet, it thinks that the Mini Countryman SE All-4 will be able to travel around 245 miles. I'm willing to bet this is maybe 225. It's not going to make it to 245.
Since that's not the official range.
Yeah. So there's an onboard AC charger capable of rates of 22 kilowatts, although you'll probably only encounter such powerful level 2 chargers in Europe, where they can take advantage of 3-phase electricity. DC chargers tops out at 130 kilowatts. This says 22 kilowatts.
I think that's supposed to be 220.
220, yeah. Which should take the battery from 0 to 80% in 30 minutes. Which, no. See, I don't like it. 80%. And then it starts basically trickling in, and it takes 2 hours or more. Very annoying.
Like a hybrid might be okay with that, but an all-electric it runs into the same issues we talk about in other episodes.
Yep. Again and again and again. So the styling is virtually identical to the JCW Countryman, which is the one that we talked about in the other episodes we wrote about in a couple of weeks ago, is what they say. The differences are subtle: a filled-in grill, no quad exhaust pipes for this Mini, not a Dodge. The Dodge Electric Daytona, 670 horsepower. Time for the Dodge. But the mayoral mansion will probably have to get a bigger garage. Look at that. There's the same bright circular OLED infotainment display and the same user interface that, again, hobbled by what feels like an underpowered graphics chip, but you're not sitting there, playing games on it. You're not, whatever. So on the road, Mini Cooper All-4 feels noticeably different to drive than the gasoline-powered JCW version. Some of that is down to the steering, which is geared differently to the JCW car and feels slightly less direct. So it's probably a softer one because the JCW is designed for performance. Dun dun dun. Yeah. Oh, and the car has a giant battery in its bottom, so of course it's gonna be a little more sluggish.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it does look like it's less bumpy, so that's good.
Yeah, I like it. But it's getting bigger and bigger. And you put a modern Mini next to an
Like the
original
Mini.
Yeah, but they're tin cans, and you would die in it if you got hit, whereas these will survive impact long enough for you to go, oh my gosh, I wish I would have died in the car accident. No, just kidding. It's not like that. Okay, let's keep going. The last article for today is Toyota is making a Pokemon motorcycle so you can ride Miradon. So we talked about this a couple of days ago, I think it was. Kenneth Shepard over at Gizmodo.com put this article together. We talked about it in the ohmTown Daily show, and I said, you know what, we really need to talk about this in Wanted, because I think people really do want to ride. I started thinking about it later. I'm like, people would actually think that this is really neat. Now, they would want to ride it, but they are not going to be willing to pay the price to own it.
Exactly.
So they say the article was originally printed at Kotaku, but then reprinted at Gizmodo.com. And it says Toyota has made a rideable Pokemon a reality, but it's unlikely any of us will get to ride it in real life because it's the Pokemon Violet mascot Miradon. But they've actually...
By the way, it's in yesterday's ohmTown Daily.
Oh, was it? Really? Wow. Time flies. Yeah. Sorry about that. So go and check it out. No, listen to this. The Toyota Engineering Society, an organization of the Japanese vehicle manufacturer's employees dedicated to prototyping and iterating on the company's technology, has created a real motorcycle that's made to resemble a futuristic motorcycle-like dragon, Miradon. While it's highly unlikely that it'll be mass-produced, not highly unlikely, it's impossible that it's going to be made mass-produced and made available to purchase, the prototype looks pretty incredible and accurate to the Pokemon. By the way, if you're rich enough, anything can be made for you.
Yeah, I don't think or most things are not impossible to make.
So
it's just cost prohibitive, right?
Yeah, if you follow the link through ohmTown over to Gizmodo, or you just do a search for Gizmodo and Miradon, you'll be able to see the pictures of it. But I'm air-gapped, so I don't have the pictures. I have to follow other links to get there. But Miradon is both the mascot for Pokemon Violet, and the player's primary means of transportation. The electric dragon-type monster is able to shift from different forms to climb, swim, fly, and roll through the world like a motorcycle. The mysterious legendary Pokemon, helps facilitate the game's open world traversal and plays a bigger role. But anyway, it
you
apparently...
think you can do all those things with this motorcycle?
No. In fact, I think that it'll probably be a struggle to actually turn it. Because there's going to be so much fluff involved with... See, do I want to click that? It is our last article.
I want to see the Pikachu bug cars that are referenced.
There.
Oh, there we go.
So this is over at GoNintendo.com. I guess I'm going to follow it. So that's what it looks like. So it has hubless rims, it looks, which is really neat.
Oh, yeah.
This can't be actually operational. This can't be actually driving. Yeah, maybe it is. Right there is where the hub would attach. So this doesn't move. The tire is inside that, barely touching the ground. Like there's just a couple of inches of rubber on the road right there.
Okay.
So you can just barely see the gap. All of this is just fender flare, basically, just glitz and glamour. All of this is plastic. Yeah. What a trip.
It looks cool. Probably not very practical, but
Not
fun.
very practical at all. No. All right. I'll probably get in trouble for just showing that. Anyway, that's it. That's what it's going to look like when you're driving around, though. The thing looks
That would
so
be neat if
bulky.
you look over and you see that next to you in the next lane.
Yeah, you see Miradon. I choose you. And you start throwing Pokeballs at it. Knock the rider off and try and capture it. Please don't anybody do that. Probably several $1 million to produce that one. So that's it for tonight. That is Wanted, our last show for tonight. We jump back into the party bus, and I'm just going to refresh it just because, see if maybe we got something else in there, but probably not today. It is a weekly show. We do it every Saturday after ohmTown Daily News Show and Reality Hacker. And tomorrow we're going to do the Daily News Show, the ohmTown Daily News Show, and the Continuity Report, and then Technology Today. And they all have their niche, so be sure to follow us here at twitch.tv/ohmTown, and then go over to YouTube and watch the videos over there, because everything that's over here that you might miss is going to be over there. We've got over 800, 30 or something like that episodes.
I think we're about at 848, I believe.
Something like that. Community's growing over there every single day, and so if you want to be part of it, head over there, download, make a comment. We have podcasts too. Next week, the other podcasts will launch, and that is Wanted and Technology Today. Those will launch next week as podcasts with 4 episodes, plunk, which is really exciting. So we'll be up to 5 podcasts, and a week later, we'll be announcing 2 more, if all goes well. And thanks for watching and hanging out. It was great. We spent the whole night together. Look at that. We will eventually get up to 8 hours. Yeah, that's it. So I'm Merwat. That's ohmtown.com, and the channel you're watching is Wanted. And up there is a sentient AI that keeps me out of trouble. You want to say whatever you want to say.
Good night, ohmTown citizens. We will see you tomorrow for 3 more shows, and then we'll see you next weekend for another episode of Wanted.
Thank you much. See you tomorrow. I want to go ride Miradon now. Bye.